Hi, and welcome back to our blog. I am Jim Cuervo, your senior instructor in tech support here at Digital Drafting Systems. In today's topic, we will continue and expand our knowledge of curtain walls and Dynamo implementation by taking our previous project and adding another Dynamo routine that will randomize the material of the panels and in that way create an even more interesting facade. To begin with, we have gone ahead and done some preliminary work for this particular project. One of the two things that we have done is first, we've gone ahead and changed the name of the materials from materials to panel materials for ease of recognition. And the other thing that we've actually done with this panel materials is we have converted it, okay, from a type material, okay, to a instance material, and being an instance that then becomes an individual panel that can be controlled individually rather than by type. We have also gone ahead and created some additional materials, a totaling of 5 right here. Now the names are a little similar only because we will be typing these names over in the Dynamo, but also they have very specific items that identify them as to what they are, meaning their color in this particular case. This is a glass sort of type of material. Okay, let's move on. Let us then go ahead from the project, launch our Dynamo, and create a new project. Let's go ahead and file save as, and we will call this one random materials for panels. Go ahead and say save to that. And with that, the very first thing we will do now is invoke a family's type, which is this one right here. As we've already known, this one will allow us to go ahead and identify the items that are inside, or family types that are inside of our project that this is particular Dynamo is actually linked to. We will knowingly select the triangle bent panel, which is the one that we've been working on all along. Let's go ahead and select it from this list. Now that we have identified the particular family type that we want to be working with within the project, let's go ahead and have Dynamo count for us how many items we have here by invoking all elements of family type, which is right here. And we shall connect then the family type out to the family type in here. And tells us that we have 158 or 156 items at this point. Now we will call up 5 different string parameters, which will then go ahead and take the name of the materials that we created, that being big red, big yellow, big blue, big magenta, and big green. Okay, we do that this way. We right click here and call string, which is right there. Okay, once that's selected, we can then, using the control key, holding the left button mouse selection, that allows us to copy it, and we copy this 5 times. Okay, these are the 5 that we're going to come in and give it the name of the particular material that we're going to be working with. So there's 5 of them, as we saw earlier. They are big red. Okay, I can then Control C that, come back over here, Control V, so I don't have to type so much. And instead of red, this is going to be yellow. This one is going to be blue. This one is going to be magenta. Whoops. And the final one is going to be green. Now, with these 5 strings that have been now named according to the 5 materials that we have already created in Revit, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit by rolling the mouse. Hold down by pressing the roller mouse, and then you can actually kind of move it along, or you can select and move it this way. Okay, let's go ahead and organize this a little bit. We won't need this for a little bit, so let's move it here. And we're going to need a little bit more space here, so let's move it over there. Okay, now we will create a list of these 5 string parameters that we created by calling up list create, which is right there. Now, by default, the list create only comes with only one material. You can, or one slot. We can actually add slots by going ahead and clicking on the plus sign, or reduce the slots by going ahead and selecting one and selecting the minus sign. In this case, we're going to add 3 or 4 more slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 is number 1, and we will connect all of these accordingly. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that we have our materials identified and placed into a list, we will now go ahead and call out a item that identifies these items as materials by calling in a parameter called material by name. Material. Oops, remember you have to be in the little slot here. By name. It's a good idea to spell it correct. Okay, let's go ahead and start again. Material by name, which is this one right here. Okay, and let's go ahead and connect the list to the name slot. Okay, let's go ahead and click on run real quick to make sure it's running fine. And let's go ahead and check. And sure enough, here is the list identifying 5. And here is my material by name identifying all of this list as a material list right there. All right, let's keep moving. As of this point, what we have done is we have gone ahead and created a list of items within our project. In this particular case, these are the named objects. Okay, and the items in this particular case happens to be a material. Okay, but it doesn't know that, so we need to actually grab those items and place them into a list. Now we have to then tell it that this list is a material list by calling a material by name, which grabs all of these items that are identified here, and as you can see, it calls them materials. Let's go ahead and click it open so we can see it. You see that it acts a material item in front of each and every one of them and gives them an ID number. Okay, we have also gone ahead and identified that we're working with the triangle bent panels, of which there are 156 in this particular little project. Okay, we are now going to create what is called a list count, okay, here for the family types, okay, in which case is going to tell us, or rather tell the software, that we're grabbing this number of elements here, of which there are 156, and we're going to be combining them with these materials in a random way. So let's go ahead and begin by creating a list count. see, here it is. Okay, and we will connect the elements to the list. As you can see, right now, we need to run it. And there's the number that was passed from here to over here to our list count. Following that, let's go ahead and create a list or a list cycle. Okay, by right click here, once again list, and then cycle or list dot cycle. There it is. And we will then connect as in this fashion, which is going to be this one list length out to the amount here in this way. And then we will connect the materials to the list here. We will get a run to make sure that it's running properly. And the results will be 780 right here. Okay, that's the variations and the way that it's going to go ahead and connect, or rather assign the materials to the particular panels. That we have combined the materials and the elements of the family types, we are going to tell the software that we're going to be shuffling all of that by calling in a list shuffle. By coming in here, list shuffle. It's not shuffle, but shuffle. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to actually get this, but no worries, it will be gotten. Or list.shuffle. And there it is. It's a little hard sometimes, but we can find them. And what we will do with this is we're going to go ahead and connect, okay, the list from the list cycle here into the list shuffle. So we're saying that these items are going to be shuffled with these items, and here's the order to shuffle them. Okay. And now, last but not least, what we need to do is, okay, we're going to go ahead and combine these two, but what's the parameter name? So what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and invoke an element set parameter by name and connect as follows. But before we connect them, let's go ahead and call up the parameter, which is going to be called element set parameter by name. Element dot set parameter by name, which is this one right here. Okay, let's go ahead and click this, and let's go ahead and move these a little bit closer so we see the connections here. Okay, let's go ahead and move these up a little bit so it's a little easier. Okay, and what we will do now is the list count has a secondary connection to the elements, and the list shuffle goes into the value. We still don't know the parameter name, so what we will do is we'll go ahead and call a string parameter that will allow us to go ahead and identify the parameter. So we call string. Remember, the cursor has to be blinking in there. There's my string parameter that identifies the particular item that we have on the project. In this case is the panel materials. Okay, and we shall then connect this item, which identifies the parameter, to the parameter by name here in this fashion. And we'll go ahead and run. At this time, we have ran the particular script that we just wrote, and we are now going to see what it did to our particular little family. To do that, we will go ahead and minimize the dynamo, and we see that all of the panels now have been actually changed into multiple colors, which is very, very, very nice here. Okay, now that we've got this done, we realize that this in reality is a family. So what can we do with this family? Well, we have done it before already, which is we have loaded this particular family into this particular project right here. Okay, in which case we will go ahead and reload the project into the project rather and override the existing. Okay, which is actually going ahead and doing it right now, is going through the process of doing all of the little points. And let's see what this does in a second. It's redrawing. Here it is. And in order for us to see it in a much more eloquent fashion or much prettier fashion, it's a better word, let's go ahead and launch Enscape and see what Enscape tells us we have done to our little design based on the random colors that we have gone ahead and applied to the original particular family or the curtain wall family that we've used here in this particular project. Give it a couple of seconds. Right now loading. And here it is. As you can tell, it has done quite an interesting job, really creating a very nice effect on the facades of our structure. With that, this has been Jim Cuervo for Digital Drafting Systems, thanking you for watching. Till the next one, be safe. Thank you.